Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 4. We'll start the opening monologue and then we'll get the game going. We're one player down for a little bit, but he'll turn up in a bit, and others are a little bit under the weather, but we're here for gaming, and we'll carry on. So here we go. Grimir is a hard land. The north is home to islands covered by ice and snow, battered continuously by frigid winds, whereas the lands of the south are inundated with volcanoes and jagged plains of lava rock. The Serpent Sea weaves between these two harsh extremes, encircling the rough and tumble inner continents and an uncountable number of fractured islands. Grimir was created from Murgle's sacrifice, and it was said that the wizard's guilt and anguish over his treachery and failure is why the world is so impossibly volatile. After the Exodus, the hardy newcomers spread out, and the Vanir eventually built their primary keep on the central continent, atop the mysterious mountain range named Turinfall. Each year the mountains rise ever higher, still growing, as if determined to reach some point in the sky for reasons not even the gods may fathom. Last time on Raiders of the Serpent Sea, the party found themselves stranded in the treacherous Fang Sands. After braving many dangers and obstacles, you finally stumbled your way upon an abandoned outpost where you were attacked by undead creatures, and they seemed to be the risen-again versions of men that you had killed and tossed into the Serpent Sea days before. With their skill, and some of them with their bravery, they managed to defeat them and continue on their journey, facing more challenges such as the beaver dam and encountering crocodiles there. Now, after many days of travel, they have finally reached the outskirts of the settlement called Nowhere, exhausted and hungry. As you approach the town, you realise you need to make some important decisions soon. What will be your next move? Will you try and find a ship and continue your journey by sea? Or will you rest and resupply in the town first? The choice is yours. May the gods guide you on your path. Alright everyone, so you are here. You crossed the river at the end of the last session when you dealt with the beaver dam and the crocodile. So the party are sort of approaching from the bottom end of the map here as this is going on, and you're sort of moving closer to the outskirts of town as this is all sort of going on. But is there anything that we need to cover before you enter town? But we are almost there as this is going on. Okay.
Do you think they will have meat?
I'm sure
Quite
they'll
possible.
have.
I certainly hope so.
I don't think that's what we need now.
I mean, speak for yourself. I mean,
I am speaking for myself. I do not need meat.
oh, you're so funny.
Fair enough. So I'm assuming you guys start to trudge a little bit further towards the town. Basically what you start to see as things are getting a bit closer is that there's smoke that seems to be escaping from dozens of wooden homes that seem to be clustered around this sort of side of the river. The river sort of runs down the middle of town, and it looks like there's a docks up ahead, not too far ahead as this is going on. It seems like the dirt road has been beaten down from generations of boots, crushing the sharp lava rock underfoot as this is all going on. A half dozen longships, mostly flying unrecognisable banners, seem to be crowded in the docks at the centre of town, surrounded by numerous smaller little vessels as this is happening. Children and adults meander through the rocky streets as you're getting closer. Dwarves, elves, a variety of dragonborn and others walk among humans, and as you're getting closer, they don't seem out of place. They seem fairly normal, but one person does seem out of place compared to the others. A woman with curled horns, light red skin, and pointed teeth at the edge of town. She seems to be squatting down in front of a little lean-to. A small campfire is burning. She sort of stares at you with sort of golden eyes, but does not rise to greet you all She seems to be focused on dropping something into the flames as you're getting closer and moving in this way.
Is that some sort of goat?
I think you should go up to her and ask her if she is some kind of goat.
I mean, it doesn't seem very polite, but okay, I can go talk to her.
No, okay. So Baldor sort of walks up towards her. She sort of eventually notices this man making his way over, and she sort of looks up a little bit, looking a little confused at you as she's almost your height, squatted down in the moments as she's by this fire.
Oh, so she's big. I mean,
she's quite
I'm small,
tall.
but
Yeah, she's quite
Okay.
tall. Yeah, for a tiefling anyway.
Hello. I am quite sorry, but we have never. I mean, this is awfully rude. Hello, my name is Baldur. Pleased to meet you. I must say, you have a very striking visage, something we are not quite used to.
Oh, thank you, man. She sort of takes that slightly as a pleasant remark on that one, and
Yes, it is wonderful. I cannot help but wonder, and please do not take this as something to take offense to. What are you?
Because of the she looks at that one. You've never run into a tiefling before, ever?
Have we?
That's
Probably not, right?
probably not. No, it's incredibly rare on that front. But yeah, she seems like slightly taken aback that you may never have seen one.
I am afraid to not know. What is it? Are you like part goat or something? Because we
she laughs at that as you say. No.
because I have met people that were like part animal. That's
No, I'm from something else that came to this world. But you're not from around here, are you? Or where have you come in from? Have you just arrived by ship? No, you can't have. You've come in from the wrong end. How did you get here?
Oh, I am a very brave adventurer, and I braved the wilds to get here.
You came via the sands. Huh. And she seems kind of semi-impressed by that as this is all going on that
I
one.
mean, I am a brave hero. That is just a fact. But maybe are you familiar with the town?
Yeah, I've been here for a long time, yeah.
I know this is asking a lot, but would you maybe want to guide us around?
Newcomers wanting to know a little bit about the town? It's not impossible. And so she sort of puts out a hand, sort of implying, whatever you feel Baldor would think that would be implying as this is kind of going on.
I will like, as she stretches out her hand, I'll like grab her like forearm and like sort of pull her up, I guess.
Oh.
Like in some sort of like, you know, the
sort of a handshake as she's pulled to her feet. Fair enough. I'm going to need Baldor to give me a persuasion check then. Let's see how he does with no coin, and he's just trying his luck.
I mean, Baldur is likable to people that don't know him. Only a 12 though.
Fair enough. Yeah, on that one. She says, "Well, I suppose I can spare a bit of time for newcomers, at least as a start point. But what are you looking for? What do you need? you've come in by land, but what's your plans? What do you need to know?
A general overview would be nice. Maybe know who's in charge. Oh, and mead. Where can we find
mead? Well,
mead?
that one I can help you with. That's easy enough. You see over there on one side, and she sort of points up towards what looks to be like a docks.
You know, would you be willing to come back to my group and explain it there?
Sure. There's more of you. as you start to pull off.
I mean, yes, they are my companions. You know, I am like a brave warrior, and they sort of follow me around. It's very it's like a little fan club, basically.
Are we hearing this? Or was this far enough away?
It was far enough. I'm assuming it was far enough away that now. But now Baldur starts to bring you over. You will hear him muttering things as this is going on. But yeah, this tiefling woman is kind of brought over to the group, over to all, and she sort of looks around all of you and just sort of takes you all in, and doesn't seem to recognize any of you in the moments, and just seems to take you in and like, hello, hi, my name is Eggle. Welcome to nowhere. Your friend here seems to suggest that you are looking for information on the town, and I'm hopefully will be able to supply. And then she starts to try the hand gesture towards the rest of you and see if there's anyone that might be taker of a coin or something that might help her make a bit of money from this.
Did he perhaps mention he thinks you're a goat?
He did definitely try something on that one, but to be honest, I thought it was trying to be a pickup line that went terribly wrong.
I mean, it could be.
It wouldn't be the first time something like that's been tried, but anyway, yes, it wasn't too bad. But anyway, yes, so welcome, I guess. You've managed to make your way here. So you all came across the sands? That seems very brave, or possibly foolhardy. One of the two.
Boat first, then sands, then boat, burnt, then sands again?
Ah, no choice if you have no boat. I see. Well, that kind of makes sense. Well, there are a few crews in town. They sometimes take passengers. I mean, it's not usually very cheap for that. Where would you be trying to head to? Do you know?
We must return to the Volve. We have dire news that they must hear.
Mm-hmm. And she sort of blinks at that in the moment, and sort of takes that in and is like, that seems interesting. Okay, well, yes, I mean, I'm sure passage can be bought, and you can try and figure out whatever you need for that purpose. But
Can I ask you something? Why that hesitation?
Well, it's it doesn't. The Volve don't usually get involved in everything. It's kind of unusual that you just don't want travel to Holwick or somewhere more normal. But yes, I suppose you seem like a strange group.
We have established we are brave heroes.
Well, I'm sure you'll fit right in with the drinking crews in town. They all think they're brave heroes. Some of them are better than others. Anyway, yes, I'll explain a few things that'll help you start on your way. If that might be a way of doing things. At the docks, there's a few chaps there that'll probably be able to help you. Cellophane, he's kind of like the dock captain, I guess, is probably your best way of putting it. He can allow you to have a fairing and someone to take you across the river if you want to go across and get hold of any of this mead that your friend Baldur was asking about. The Eye of the Storm is the tavern on the other side of town. That'll probably be it's your best bet for anything like that. There's shopping and a few other things on that side of the ship, on the other side of the town as well. On this side, you have, there's farms, there's warehouses. the shipbuilders at the far end of town. The woods where the strange wooden fellow is, the seer guy. And then the tents just outside of the other end of town. It's it's fairly busy, and there'll be plenty of things on that front. But yes, I suppose if it's just a matter of what else might you be looking for?
Are we looking to stay here? I don't really know. I can't remember the time frame that we.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I'll give you the sort of the out of character context for a moment on that one. So yeah, from your point of view, you are without ship, so you do need to find a way of getting a ship. Your main goals are to get the information that you got from the tower and take it back to the Volve. There's a couple of problems with doing that. One is you have to have a ship to get out and make that happen. The other one is that the Volve are in a place called the Drift Hall. Now the Drift Hall is made up of ships, many ships from all the clans, and it's on the move. So actually finding it is not the easiest thing in the world to pull off, but it is something that it will. Yeah, it's the main goal that you will have to try and achieve to get rid of people like a small child that you managed to collect and certain other items that you have on you and for things like that. But yeah, you don't have a full idea of best where to go, but step one, make sure that you have a ship.
Speaking of that, I'm sure that Hrolf would have asked Zisa to hide the head, so it is in her pack. She's not carrying it out.
Fair enough. That definitely makes sense as that one is going on. And yeah, there's definitely been a little bit of trying to be on reasonable behaviour for a little bit until they know Hrolf has sort of said until we know the lay of the land and maybe who the captains of some of these ships are. It might be best that we spend a little time working out what's going on in town. But yeah, she sort of says, but yeah, I mean, that would be probably the key things. Maybe the docks, if you need a seer or something along those lines. Kicking in the woods would probably be a good bet if you just wanted to have some sort of spiritual guidance of some sort. He is an interesting fellow, I will definitely say that. If you need mead and bits like that, the Eye of the Storm will definitely be more the place to go. It's honestly, yes, it's not a bad little place once you get used to it.
I mean, mead is all the spiritual guidance I need.
That is not correct.
I agree, but I also would like to go see this wooden fellow.
Yeah, Hrolf kind of says, saying, if a seer is truly here in nowhere, that might be a place to start in some ways. Someone that can maybe have contact with the gods or the Volve could be important. I'm not against that. If we do stay on this side of the river. Podo, you were going to say?
I just think getting a boat sorted should be priority because if we're gonna buy one or if we're gonna have one made, that's gonna take time. So if we get that started now, we can then do everything else afterwards.
Agreed. We should be working on a ship. I definitely think the key goal will probably be finding the captains. Any captains we can either deal with or deal with, I guess, either way, but we will have to figure that out. That's certainly true.
Perhaps we can talk to whoever is in charge. Maybe they can help us acquire such service.
Beowyn is the leader of town. She should be around here somewhere on this side of the river, possibly towards the Great Hall. Is one possibility. Eggle sort of suggests as this is all sort of going on. I heard you were over talking about some of the crews. There are a few in town. 3 main names come to mind if you want to try and seek them out. Scooty has his own ship in town. He's an interesting character.
Scooty!
He's already winning because of the name.
Say no more. He's tired.
Fair enough. Had Thornbeard and the Raven ship. Yeah, he's not the best fellow, but yes, he has managed to keep hold of his ship over the years. And there's Lurks and the Ship of the Vipers as well. They're an interesting bunch as well. I mean, they certainly have a reputation. They're certainly been doing well out on their last few raids. That's definitely true. They should be around and should be something you can find out a little bit more out on. I'm sure some of them frequent the Eye of the Storm. That's certainly true. All possibilities.
Well, we appreciate the help and sorry for putting you out of whatever you were doing over by that campfire.
I'm just praying for my dreams to stop one day. She sort of smiled. Anyway.
Yep.
Well, I wish you all good luck anyway. I hope your travels go fairly well. If you need anything else, well, you'll know I'll be this end of town. And she sort of bids you good day.
Rolf, where would you like to go first? We will follow.
Well, I'm very, very tempted to say go straight to the rune, this rune thrower guy, but the docks seem to be on the way. It wouldn't be a bad idea to make sure that we know who or what we're dealing with there. I'm sure that's going to be something that's going to be important. Maybe we do that and then make our way up, unless anyone has any better ideas.
As you say, also, there are enough of us that we could potentially split up and go do multiple things and meet up at a location of your decision.
Yeah, that is true. That's certainly a possibility.
Nothing bad ever happens when we split the party.
I also want to spend a bit of time seeing if there are any rumors of ships coming through. If the Wa did come through this way with their ships to attack, then it would be interesting to find out if they had been this way. I might go and do a bit of snooping on that on my own at some point. But yeah, as a group, what do you guys think you would be most inclined to go do first?
Holder would push for the docks.
Yeah, the docks make the most sense because they're like right next to us, right?
Yeah,
so they're on the way to everywhere else.
They're literally the next step up on here. That's absolutely
Yeah, and
true.
there was like a ferryman that can get you to the other side of town, right?
Correct. Yes. Yeah. That's
And
absolutely true.
And the mead hall or whatever is on the other side of town.
Yeah, she's
so,
implied it's on the other side of the.
Yeah, docks is the way to go in my book. I mean,
No
he
problem.
hates to agree with Hoder, but you know.
Some things just make common sense in the
Just
moment.
a question: this exclamation mark, was this the tiefling?
That was the tiefling on
Okay,
that one.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes. I know the completionist kicks in when I start when I start putting these little icons out. So yeah, you guys make your way up to the docks. That's no problem as this is going on. It seems like there is numerous docks along this side of the river. They seem to be loads of 3 or 4 long ships that are tied up. There seems to be crews here on that front that seem to be going on, but you do notice a thin, short elf that sort of stands out. He seems to be barking orders at a group of humans, elves, and gnomes, and they seem to be working along the waterfront, working on loading and unloading a few of the bigger ships and one of the small fairings. It's not exactly a bustling port, but it seems to be enough there going on to keep the workers busy as this is all going on. And you sort of, you there, keep up, pick up the box, move, and he's sort of like just aiming at some of these and yelling as he sort of notices this group of folk are sort of making their way along the upper edge of the docks, and he sort of looks over towards you all and says, "Greetings, newcomers, so you didn't come in by sea. Oh, hi.
Yes, we came by the sands because our boats got burnt down.
That is bad luck, and you've managed to come across the sands. That's a hell of a day, or a hell of a few days, I'm assuming. But well done. You've at least made it to somewhere civilized. And yeah, this is the smallest backwater town. You know, this is very low end of civilized for some of you, as this is all going on that front. But anyway, yes. I mean, if you need a fairing across the river to get to the other side, by all means, 1 cup apiece. I'll have one of the guys drop what they're doing here and take anyone that wants to go across. No problem on that front. I'm the steward of the dock here. I make sure that things run smoothly and keep the trade in and out of nowhere working. It's a busy job, but someone's got to do it.
We would like to go across, but we're also looking for a boat ourselves, and a crew, hopefully.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I mean, you could try and purchase a ship, I suppose, is one way of doing it. You could see if one of the captains is willing to sell their personal ship. That's one possibility. However, I do know the shipbuilders are also building one. You might be able to put down the gold for it that way. I mean, they're not cheap, but if you have the coin.
How much coin are we talking about?
I don't know what they're willing to barter down to, but I do believe it was a fair portion of money. I don't think it was a few thousand gold, but you would have to check with them and see what they were willing to go down to on that front. I mean, I know the other option. Some of them will allow you to purchase places on their ship if you want it for travel. That usually comes in a lot cheaper. I think they do that usually at something like 25 to 30 gold pieces a person. It's usually more reasonable at that point.
Yes, that is probably the way we are going to go. Where do these sort of people hang out that we can go talk to the captains?
Oh, that's a very good point. I mean, some of them have been a bit more surly than others, I must admit. I think overall, one of the easiest ones to probably find is... 1 second.
Just assuming the mead hall.
Yes, I just wanted to make sure I tell you which is the correct one that would possibly be over there on that one. I think some of Scooty's crew are probably already over there drinking already. That's probably true. As to the location of their captains, some of them drink there overnight. It is possible that you might be able to find them there. It's certainly something you should be looking into if you're willing to spend some gold to purchase that. And that's one way. It also doesn't hurt to butter them up and buy them some mead once in a while. Some of them like that more than others.
What can you tell us of the captains that are currently docked?
They're an interesting bunch. I mean, Scooty, he has a solid vessel. I know, I'll give him that much. She's well made. He's a middle-aged, aging man. As far as I can tell from his crew, I've not spoken to him directly. They're quite proud of their captain, although I do understand that the last of their raids recently have kind of gone fairly poorly. Apparently he's irritable, but a good man. He's hard work from whenever I have seen him. I know his crew are very cautious of him, but I do know that their raids have been going very well lately, so I know his crew are pretty happy with him. They've done quite well. apparently he is courageous to a fault, but yeah, not the easiest to get along with. And Lurtz,
That sounds very familiar, yes. Courageous to a fault.
Lurtz, he's been a captain for many years. I think he inherited his vessel from his parents, as I recall hearing. He's a hothead. He's very easily riled up would be the best way of putting it. But yeah, he's wary of newcomers and things like that, as far as I'm aware. I understand that they've had very little loot from their past raids as well. They've not done so well in the raiding season, so take that as what you will.
We aren't exactly looking for a raiding party. We need safe travel to somewhere quite dangerous. So we're looking for more people that would be able to survive that sort of travel, really.
Well, I mean, they will certainly, if you pay them well enough, they will. Some of those crews are more capable than others, but they're certainly up for that kind of a thing if need be. Your other option, of course, is to basically purchase a ship of your own and then put together your own crew, maybe with help with people around here. That is certainly another possibility if you're so inclined. And as he's sort of looking around at you all and trying to take you in and sort of work out how much value you might have, it's probably not the easiest thing to work out, but it's certainly a strange bunch as he's looking around at you all. But yes, there's certainly many an option as this is going on. Do I know you?
think,
And he's sort of Silifin is sort of looking at Herolf for a moment, and he sort of gives him a little bit of a smile and says, I have a feeling that you might be someone I've met before." And Herolf is sort of like nodding and sort of says, "Well, I may have been in a fight or two, and I may have been around these lands. It's not impossible." Then he sort of gives him a sort of a wry smile, and there's kind of a moment between them where they're kind of like, you think they might be clicking that he might know him at least fractionally as this is all going on. But yeah, so they seem like they may know each other a little bit as this is all going on. As this is all going on as well, the little one sort of perks up a little bit and sort of asks around and says, "So these are what your ships look like when they're not burnt and destroyed? Then I see. They're very strange, very strange."
What are the ships that you are used to?
Taller, bigger things. 3 masts. Most of the time. Yes, these things seem very small.
I look to Rolf with her description to see if he recognizes.
Yeah, he's just nodding his head like, not a bit confused because the long ships are pretty big by these standards on that front. It's like
not all small things are bad, you know.
Fair enough. As this is all going on. Okay. So I suppose the question comes on that one. So Herolf is kind of pushing for you guys to make your way towards the Runekeeper first, but obviously you are aware that others may be in the tavern or in some things along that side of the river. You also know that there is a shipbuilder further uptown. That's all certainly be a thing as well as this is all going on.
Frida will turn to everyone and ask, "So, do any of you have that sort of money by any chance?"
I mean, Rolf, you have been gathering the spoils from our raid, right? So,
I have.
how much would it be possible to spend those on a new ship, new crew?
It certainly would be if we had enough. We have a few hundred, unless we can sell items and get rid of certain things as well. But thousands, no, not so much. But there might be other options. captains can be sometimes persuaded to do stupid things. I've known others that I've managed to pull it off with in the past. Get them in the right move. You get them to bet their ship, and
I was going to suggest the hothead one, and one of us fight. I'm sure if he's that hot-headed, we could really rile him up to bet his ship.
Doesn't sound like an impossibility. Might be another way forward.
I mean, who
Something
of
to
us
think on, anyway.
take him on? I mean, I would do it, but you know, you want him to have a chance, right? So, if it comes to that, who will take him on?
Why do we want him to have a chance? I think we would want the most advantageous person, which you are implying
Yes.
is you.
Yes, Balder. It seems as you have shown great might. I think you should go up for a fight if something happens.
Also vote Balder, as of all of us, he has the most fighting prowess, and we want this to be a sure thing.
Harolf is chuckling as this is going on in the background.
I mean,
He's got a bad track record with winning bets. He's quite a bit of a loser, to be honest.
Yes, but this is fighting. Balder has shown great accomplishment throughout our journeys, and might and strength.
Perhaps if you just picture him as an alligator, that will help.
It seemed to work for that.
might. You know, we'll see when it comes to that. I am sure I will be able to defend it bravely if he indeed tries to bet his ship on the fight. And he feels like he can't back down now, and he feels very uncomfortable. But he tries to keep a brave face.
Fair enough. So, okay. So, yeah, are you guys paying the copper and going across, or do you think you're going to stay on this side and go for the docks and the rune keeper first? It's honestly up to you what way you guys are thinking of.
The leader of town is also on this side too, somewhere, right?
Correct. Yeah, you don't know where yet, but it's certainly that is true. Yes. So it's a mixed bag of options.
What sort of time of day is it? Because if it's getting late, then the tavern might be better, because that's when they said that.
Yeah. From what I understand it from the adventure, you would have been arriving around lunchtime by this one. So you've been up for a few hours walking, but it's not been horrendous amount of walking, if that makes sense. And you should all be long rested as well from previous, if that makes sense. So.
Oh, let's see.
Yeah, I think I'm long rested.
Yeah.
I think so too, yeah.
Okay.
If we did want to use the option of winning the ship in a fight, we might want to wait until the captains are further into their cups. As it is still midday, I don't think now would be the time for that. We can explore other options until then.
Or we drink with them and get them on our side.
Well, we should definitely be sounding them out. Of maybe it doesn't have to be done in a day, but yeah, we can certainly take some time and figure it out. That's certainly true. We can have some mead as well. I'm not against that. And Harolf seems to be not completely against that. But I would like to at least check out the what the seers were before I was too far into me mead, and that would definitely be true.
And we can go see the seer next. Perhaps they will know where their Volve is.
Blight, you've been quiet. What do you think of this situation?
Yes, give us your opinion. We know you've been listening so intently.
I've just been listening to you all, you know. I'm happy to be here and intently listening.
Fair enough. Well, welcome anyway. Right. So yes. I suppose the question is, are you? Is it to the Eye of the Storm and the drinks, or is it explore this side of town, making your way towards where you've been told this rune keeper is?
If we're going to the rune keeper, it looks like the ship maker is like right below it, so we might be able to do the ship maker first.
Absolutely, certainly something you can definitely bear in mind as you're going. So yeah, it certainly looks like there is bits and bobs going on that you could make your way towards that side of things. That's certainly true. Okay, so yeah, it sounds like you guys will stay on this side of the river for a little bit and making your way up. You will start by going past bunches of different warehouses and bits and bobs as this is all going on. I believe you get to around here when the next section will kick in. 1 second, let me bring up the right one. Right, so yes, there seems to be a bunch of different things going on outside a large logged hewn building that's sort of coming up as you're sort of making your way over on this side. Seems to be like a larger hall of some description that seems to be coming up on one side. Yeah, there seems to be a couple of priests, or what look like sort of priests, that seem to be hanging around on the outskirts of this sort of building as this is going on. The first one is a tall folk, so a much larger woman, but sort of with slightly priestly robes would probably be the best way of putting it. Along with another woman that seems to be, and they seem to be talking between each other as time is going on, and they're discussing a few things as you guys are walking by, and they sort of look over towards you all and say, "Welcome. Have you come to pray to the gods at all, or make a donation?"
No.
That is not our current goal, but that's not to say that we wouldn't later.
Well, may
Is
the gods
there-
be with you anyway.
Is there like a sign, like which god specifically they worship? Because like I know for each of our clans they have like a specific god,
Yeah,
right?
so unlike what you would normally have, where most places that you would normally go, you would have specific shrines to each of the different gods. In this case, this one is a mishmash of many of them, which is very unusual. You don't normally have that where you're from normally there. So yes, it's a bit strange to see pretty much one visage of most of the different gods. Aldehyde, the twins, there's a few other things going on. It's all a bit it's all a bit mishmash from what you can see. But if you do ask them directly, all the gods are welcome here in our little place. It is the way of things in such a small town.
But
We accept all
like-
faiths, all gods.
But like there must be one of them that you serve above the others, right? Of
We-
course, we all like acknowledge the existence of all gods, but there must be like one that's like your favorite, right?
All are welcome here, but you get a sense that there may be an answer to that question, Baldor, but they are literally trying to be very very civil about it on that front. All are welcomed here.
Does she look like she's wearing iconography of any particular deity?
You think that their clothing is very well. Make a perception check. Let's see if there's anything on that one.
Is there any god symbol missing from their mishmash of shrines?
Looking around, none that you recognize would as being missing as you're looking around generally on that front. No, you think these are taking them in, and the way they're dressed, they're very, very specifically trying to make sure that there is iconography for many of them within their like some of their leather armor, some of their sort of extras on their robes, etc. But it's definitely very specific to try and be, should we say, generic against most of the gods, if that makes sense.
Well, that just seems insane.
In what way, child?
Can't just worship all the gods. You worship one above them all.
I know many of you feel that way, but here in Nowhere, we have had to make accommodations for all. I know some of the clans are stronger in their feelings for some of the gods, but all of them are part of our lives, and all of us need to take in what they are willing to share with us. regardless of where they're from and what they do. So all will be shared here. And this is the strangest religious place that you guys have seen in that respect. That's certainly too.
I think you're lying. I think you serve one god, but you're just letting other people worship in your place.
Oh, I'm sorry that you feel that way. Make an insight check, Frida.
Not going to be very good. Nope, it's very good.
Okay.
20.
On that one. She rolls literally a 5 plus her. So yeah, you're pretty sure that you are correct. However, that is not. Yeah, she has obviously lied to you to make that call as that's going on. Well, anyway, I hope all goes well with your visit here. If you do feel the need to worship whichever god that you see fit, please, by all means, come back here when you're ready. Our doors are open. You are always welcome. As Frida sort of is unconvinced as time is sort of passing as this is going on. Okay, so it looks like you guys will then continue making your way on further, making your way to what appears to be some sort of a shipbuilders coming up a little further on. One second.
On our way there, Zisa will ask Horolf, you have been to many places. Have you seen houses of worship that have been split evenly among the deities?
I've seen some before where there's been maybe 2 of the gods that the peoples have been sharing, but no, not all the gods. That's very strange. Very strange. But then what people do in the name of the gods can be very strange. Well, you're looking at one that did strange things for the gods.
As you say.
They were lying about that to us. They definitely only worship one above the rest.
To be sure, I can imagine that be true, Frida. It wouldn't surprise me. They may be trying to be civil and passive for everyone, but it's hard not to choose one that you favor above the others.
Or they're trying to trick everyone into worshipping false idols.
Maybe. Although all the gods they're showing there seem to be the real ones, I'm not saying that they're not.
Maybe
I don't
it's
know.
a safety thing. With a massive multicultural area, neutrality keeps them safe. No one can...
The further you are out on the Serpent Sea, the stranger things certainly turn out to be. We are on the farthest edge of our sort of knowledge of the place. Hell, the end of the world is on the other side of the islands. It's far out. Even some of them even knowing the Volve keep us all together in some form is probably as much as we can ask. It's never going to be the most civilized this far out. We'll have to see what we can find here anyway. Looks like the shipbuilder's coming up anyway. We should be getting close. And as that sort of will end there, you do make your way to what appears to be the shipbuilders as this is going on. The smell of wood and tar is strong as you guys approach. There's a large outdoor workshop that seems to be busy working away. There seems to be most of the yard is reserved for sort of sawhorses, stacks of lumber, and several storage sheds as this is going on. 2 longship skeletons await completion. A 3rd longship is almost complete. And it rests near the river's curve at the edge nearby. It looks like only the prow needs a bit of finishing work, but the rest is sort of coming together much more as this is all sort of coming together as that's the one. But yeah, you see a man sort of sort of looks up and from what was going on, and he sort of takes you all in that one and says, "You come to see the ships getting close, isn't it? New folks around here, welcome."
Yes, we have definitely come to look at the ships, but we'd also be interested in finding out what sort of prices these new built ships go for.
Fair enough. I mean, we do spend a fair amount on these as this is going on, but we generally start at prices are around 3,000 gold pieces for a base model, the smallest version of the Viking ship. We also then can do other upgrades and things like that. We can make the whole a more sturdy one for another 1,000 gold pieces on top. We can upgrade to a stronger, lighter Scorpion class. That costs around 5,000 gold pieces if you want us to build something like that. But yeah, the base is sort of around the 3,000 mark. This one here, as he sort of looks up, is probably going for around that. Not had a buyer yet, but it's looking promising coming up. There's always clans looking for raiding. There's always groups. Hell, even the Vrang are starting to talk about actually taking on one of the ships and spending some money on that. Vrang are usually what's classed as non-clan people, as they don't have a specific clan, like they've been ousted or something like that. But that's an unusual term, but yeah, it's probably what some of these people around here are made up of, if that makes sense.
Question. Is like the ship that's almost finished, how close is it sitting to the water?
It is within, well, yeah, it's about 5-10 meters away from the water's edge, if that makes sense. It looks like they're on the final stretch of next few days finishing off, and then it would be ready to go.
So hypothetically, let's say everything goes wrong and we come here, how easy would it be to get that ship in the water?
With a big enough crew, it would certainly be doable. We're not talking a small ship.
Crew?
And a big enough crew would be 10 to 15 folk in general. Would be the best way of putting it.
Well, we're already like what, 5-6 of us.
Follow-up question: do the wolf and the child count towards that number?
They do not count towards that number. No, they would be passengers on your boat.
In sort of our travels, is 3,000 gold around the normal price for a boat, or is this guy?
It's in the right sort of ballpark if you want right. for a low end boat. That's on that front.
Okay.
They're not cheap things, and wood's not an easy thing to.
No, that's fine.
So yeah, they are fairly expensive things to work out. In fact, you would probably say in some ways that's a cheaper price than if you were trying to buy one at Horwick. But it's in that sort of ballpark.
And we have like a couple of hundred worth of gold, so
probably a few hundred is the honest truth in general, depending on what you were up to, and certain things that you have were sold. But yes, at the moment, a few hundred gold would probably be the purse that's involved with Hrolf right now. But anyway, the ship's going to be done in a few days. We're going to have an auction if we don't get a firm offer, which we've not had yet. But are you guys thinking of buying, or?
Wait, this is going to auction, not just being sold?
It might go to auction, I think.
It'll. If we don't get a firm offer in a few days, we'll probably put it up for auction. Yeah.
And what sort of price would an auction fetch for it?
It depends on the day. I mean, that's definitely true. And it depends how much the folks bid it up. It's hard to say. The starting would be around 2,000 gold, and then we would see from there. That's if we don't have a firm buyer in the next few days, anyway. which we normally do. He sort of smiles at
Are any of these being built specifically for somebody in mind?
Oh, well, yeah, one is over there. It's that one at the back. And yeah, you see the earlier one of the ones that's about less than a quarter built is actually on that one. Yeah, that's sort of been ordered by the main estate here. They're putting the money slowly towards it, and eventually it'll get finished and built. But it's been on the slower end of things. They seem to be that the amount they're charging for taxes, they're not putting it all towards boats, so that'll be a ways off yet. But they want their own one at some point. I'm surprised they haven't raised the taxes to get it quicker, but maybe the people wouldn't have gone for that. But yeah,
I was hoping one of them would be for the captains.
No, yeah. At the moment, yeah, he's not suggested one of the captains as this is going on. But yeah, he's obviously intimating roughly how much it would be to try and purchase one of these things as a current ballpark. Is there any other questions that you guys would have with these guys? Would be the next question, I guess.
I have questions, but I don't want them to hear, so I would ask.
Fair enough on that one. So, do you want to go into the whisper room and for a moment, Hodo? Or?
Oh no! As in, I don't want the boat people to hear.
Fair enough. Yeah. So, no worries. So you guys start to sort of step away and make a little bit of distance away from the docks and all of that for a moment on that one. So yeah, what does Hodor? What's Hodor sort of get up to?
Does anyone know if there's any legal requirements for boats to be sold? Like anything? I don't know if there's a certain thing about the boat that makes it not eligible for sale.
If you're talking about
if it don't float, yeah, Harolf says if it doesn't float, that's usually a good one.
No, I was meaning if there was protocols. If they can't reach those protocols, are they allowed to sell it? Because if the boat happens to be at that stage...
Yeah, I do have to say in Luton, we have like strict quality control laws on all of our boats.
Your clan always were a little strange on that sort of thing.
Has to go through a strict compliance policy as well.
No, I've not heard about that from most of the clans.
It would seem that is something that varies from clan to clan, and as there's no dominant clan here, I don't believe there's any sort of restrictions that you speak of. As Rolf and Frida said, it would need to float to be a boat.
If you're talking about theft, then that is not something I'm comfortable with, sorry.
If there's something not right with it legally for selling, then we charitably take it off their hands as a form of recycling with permission.
I
It
don't
can't be
think
sold
Just
by
going
boat
to
tip.
dissuade everyone else from placing bids.
That's
Say the
true.
boat is cursed or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's certainly another option there. We could possibly dissuade any bidders. Then they would certainly have to bring down their price if that was true. That might work in a few days. That's not a bad one. Maybe if we can get the spirits on our side, and there's someone saying that it's not going to be worthy. Yeah, maybe. I'm not against a bit of that if it brings down the price.
The spirits, huh? And like Baldur sort of looks at Hodor and Zisa, and back to Hodor, back to Zisa.
What?
Did you guys do anything like that?
I do not commune with spirits. Outside of my familiar.
As the raven is sort of, is around it somewhere, I'm sure.
And you fake communicating with the spirits.
Don't think I'm that good at check my stats.
Not currently.
Well, Harolf sort of said, well, there's something to think on anyway. Shall we see what's going on a bit further afield before we worry about that. Maybe that's something to think on once we've had a bit of mead later on.
Yes.
Yes.
Maybe we should communicate with someone who can talk with the spirits.
Fair. Okay, so yeah, you guys are beginning to walk away from the shipbuilders towards the woods and what's been described as a rune keeper of some sort. But first of all, will someone please roll me a d20, please? It's time for a random event in town. Let's see what's going to happen.
Jamie, you were late. You do it.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, damn it.
Already there.
That's okay. That's all right. Rowder has chosen as this is going on. Yes, as you guys are moving along the roads as this is going on, you guys spot a surly dwarf raider. He seems to kick a malnourished halfling man and shouts, "Get back to your tents, you beggar!" And sort of gives him another whack and sort of throws him off, head out of town towards the far end of town, if that makes sense, as this is going on. Peasants, and is walking along as this is going on.
Hoda would run to the halfling.
No problem. Yeah, he's he looks very malnourished and not the best fed in the world as you make your way up to him, and he sort of startles for a moment and thinks he's going to get another kick, and as he turns around and then hello, and seems very timid in the moment.
Hoda will try and look as unthreatening as possible. Despite appearances, and we'll say, "I'm not here to hurt you. I'm here to check if you're alright. You got any injuries of any kind?"
I'm fine. No, I'm okay. It's just I just wanted a bit of money for bread. I thought I could maybe, but the guy took offense. And you can see this guy is painfully thin as you're actually looking at him.
Is this level of poverty common here?
Yeah, well, I mean, for those that haven't got homes yet, yeah, the winters have been hard here. We've all a lot of us have had to come from the outskirts in, and the town's not been the most welcoming, let's say it that way. It's been harsh for a while. There's a fair few of us now. There's a lot of tents on the outskirts. It's almost its own community. But we've not got a lot, and we're always hungry. It's hard to get our fair share.
Hoda would probably pull out a bit of his rations and give a bit to the guy and say,
Thank you. Seems to take it in his stride on that one, and eats the first part of it very, very quickly as that's going on, and says, "Thanks, stranger. Thank you for that. I hope you have good luck with whatever you seek here. Watch yourself. It can be a bit strange in town."
Strange in what fashion?
Then they're not the kindest to new folk or out of towners. So just be on your guard.
Well, keep yourself safe and out of trouble. If anything else happens, look for either me or my group over there, and he'll indicate everyone behind. We'll keep you safe.
Thank you. And he tips his hand to you a little bit, and then starts to run off back towards this far area of the town, quite far off over this way. But yeah, he starts making his way out.
I'd go back to the group, and I would say,
Apparently, the class disparity is a common problem here. People in the tents are all poverty-stricken outsiders. Clear divide, apparently. That's not an uncommon sight.
Did they
Hrolf-
mention if they
yeah.
would be capable of manning a ship?
Well, most of them will be raiders, I'm sure. I mean, there's bound to be some amongst them that would be good enough to be able to be crew. I'm sure some will be green, but yeah, it's possible that we might be able to get some people that would be useful as crew. It's worth
Then they
thinking
could
about.
be of use. Yes, something to keep in mind.
Hoda's clearly like disgruntled by the fact that Rolf and Aziza's first thought is whether or not they can be used,
Yeah.
rather than, hey, this is a
Absolutely.
horrible social situation that they're in, and it's very clear by his face that he's not happy with their response.
Fair enough. But yeah, it's certainly certainly Hrolf's first thoughts are of what use as a crew they could possibly be in there as a possibility. That is definitely true.
The goat lady also didn't seem to be doing much. She might also be an option, I think.
Yeah, maybe she's a good one to actually go and figure out who might be willing to be crew if a new ship was to be found. Might be an interesting way. They'll get paid. They'll have part of the loot. It's might be more up the street of people that are being a little bit more marginalized here.
Yeah.
Well, that's fine for the 5 or 6 we hire. What about the rest of them?
Well, winters are harsh.
They are not our problem. They are weak. They will die off.
But we could possibly help them.
That is not our mission. We need to get back to the
Whatever.
Volve. We need to tell them of Ragnarok. We need to tell them of the Jotun.
Not
Yeah.
everything's about a mission.
I mean, if everything happens like we apparently saw, then it won't matter if these people are starving or marginalized.
Hoda's gonna like round on Boldor with like fury in his eyes and say,
With a mindset like that, I hope you don't become Jarvid.
and like storms away.
Oof. Fair enough. So yes, seems yes, as usual there is a bit of something going on between the brothers in the moment, but you guys are able to make your way a little further across and out towards the woods as this is all going on. It seems to open up into a little area coming up. 1 second. And yeah, a small tree grove surrounds a clearing near the river's edge. A campfire burns near a stack of wood, and a tall man stands on the opposite side of her fire as you guys start to approach as this is going on. Strangely, you realize that this individual is, well, not human to start with. It only has the look of being human. As you realize that this is a blue-black skinned man made of wood. Kind of similar ideas to some of the construct things you saw in the tower before, but to some of you, you would realize this is a Wicca person, and yeah, for those that have been around more. But yes, it seems to be a very, very tall individual, standing quite high on that one. He is almost 9 feet tall in this space, so impressively tall as this is going. His arms are poking out through a white tunic. He appears very frail and thin. He raises those arms as if in greeting, and they sort of drooping down into the snow-dusted trees around, sort of spraying a bit of snow everywhere. He sort of smiles as he looks up at you all, and he's I've been expecting you all. Finally, you are here. I think it is time for you to show me your runes. Your birth runes.
Whoa.
And
You
we
don't
will
just
see how
walk
this
up
goes.
to people and ask to see their runes.
It's a fifth date kind of thing.
It's a bit forward.
It does seem very personal, yes.
Oh, well, fair enough. But if you show me those runes, I will show you the next steps in your journey. That is my place in all of this. Who is willing to come forward?
That would be no problem. Frida would just walk forward and show at the top right of her arm just a rune.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, he takes a look at your rune for a few moments, and then there is a bowl on a sort of a tree stump in front, and he will then pull out some runes. He sort of incantates for a little bit, and then he will throw one out, and he looks down at it for a moment, and his eyes kind of go a little wide in the moments, and then we need to give you a handout in here somewhere. 1 second.
That's always good.
Yes. Here we go. Hopefully I can make that show to you all. 1 second. So yes, this is the rune that he draws for you, Frida, in the moment, and he looks at it and says, "In this rune, I see a king passing a coin to a varang. I see the glimmer of drawn swords. I see the blood of your family in this rune. I see the fate that must take you to this varang. The answers you seek are here, in nowhere. I see a black dragonborn. He is the one that you seek."
Where? This is the first time Frida's been like, what? He knows my family?
I believe he was paid, and your family are no longer here. He will have answers, or will die not telling you. But he is here, and you must seek him.
Yes, here is a very big place. Nowhere is rather large. Where? Do you have any idea where? I'd rather him not die without telling me about the information about my family.
A black dragonborn should stand out. I'm sure someone will be able to find, although I do not know the individual. I only see what the gods allow me to see.
Frida would just walk away, kind of defeated, but kind of a little optimistic at that information.
Okay.
Seeing the effect this had on Frida, Zisa, for once not checking with Hrolf, immediately steps forward and holds out her left hand, and in the crook between her index finger and her thumb is where her rune is. Says, "Tell me what you see."
Very well. And he incantates a little bit again, and he will draw a rune for you in this case. He sort of stares up at you for a moment, sort of looking at you, and he goes kind of cold for a moment. Almost the air around him seems to go frigid, and the wind blows across your shoulders. He then draws himself closer and sort of says, "In this rune I see much turmoil in you. From your past, from your present. A hard choice must be made. You have something important on you. Something you must share." What does Zisa make of that in the moment?
Zisa pulls out the feather.
Okay. His eyes widen as you show the feather as this is going on. And he says, This you must take to the Volve, I think. Find the Volve at the Well of Wisdom. Your path will become clear. They will have answers that you seek.
So doubling down on finding the Volve, I can absolutely do that.
Fair enough.
He said the Well of Wisdom, or
The Well
what?
of Wisdom, yes, yeah. So,
Is that an actual location that we could find?
yes, but
On a map or
knowing exactly where it is in the mountains of Turnfall is hard, but it's you know it is a physical place. Yes, you have heard of
well,
it. You also know that someone that you've been around a lot has been there.
Okay, good. So then Zisu will give a knowing look to Rolf. Did anybody else hear that or no?
I'm assuming you guys have kind of gone up on your own, but is the honest truth. But
Okay.
it is up to you as that's going on.
So then I'll step away, and as I do, I walk briskly to Rolf, and I grab the crook of his arm, and I will pull him back farther from everyone else while the rest of them get their readings, so that I can fill him in on what was told to me.
No problem, no problem. We'll cover that in a few moments after that. Who is next on the list?
Oh, do me.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, Rauda, you make your way up to him, and
She will remove one of her gauntlets, and underneath is just a wrap of crimson cloth, and she will reveal the rune on her wrist.
okay. He sort of takes a little while to go over some of his runes. He seems to select a few and then discard them, and then keeps going through them a little more before he does sort of throw one down. And yes, your rune is shown at this point, and he says to you, "She yet lives. The one that cast the curse upon you, I see her. She stands everlasting upon the white marble of Feligur. Speak with her. Only with that, speaking with the one that cursed you. Perhaps only she might undo what should never have been done in the first place."
That bitch. How is she still around?
Elves are long-lived.
Ugh.
as Rauda is sighing and sort of makes their way away from the from the group.
Hoda would probably like tug on Boulder's sleeve and go,
Ours are the same anyway, let's just go together.
You mean I have to show it?
Yes.
I hope it's on your butt. I hope it's on your butt.
I mean, I think we have established this. It is on my butt, yes.
Fair enough. So showing Hodor and Baldur showing their runes, one placed more appropriately than the other
Yeah.
one in the
yeah,
moment.
Hoda's is on his chest.
No problem. And yes, he will then chuckle for a bit, and then he will draw a rune for the two of you, and he will show it as this is going on. I see you both standing aboard ships that belong to your clan, but that is only the very beginning. One day you shall return to your lands after you have righted a great wrong, and if you do so, you shall lead them, if you so wish. He scratches the side of his head for a little bit, and then he goes, "First, though, you have an enemy. Your enemy is crafty, but he is not wise. They have made mistakes. They have left a trail. I see a man in the far north, protected by the hide of a great bear. I see a slain man too rich, too slow, and I see a terrible forest. He shudders for a moment and then makes a prayer to Alderheim that the powers might protect him from those that seem to be out in amongst things, that watch the watchers. Your answers will be there. The start of your quest will be out there in the north.
Just a question.
Mhm.
Do these descriptions mean anything to me or to Hodor?
They would actually mean more to Hodor because he was around more with your family as this is going on.
Yeah.
But I will fill you guys in a little bit more. But Baldur, it means less to you than it possibly does to your brother in the moment. Probably you might be able to pick that up on his face. And as that sort of has gone on, then I'm assuming Blythe, you're last to make your way.
Yeah, every time I unmuted to speak, someone else would go. So
Fair enough. No problem.
yeah, so Blythe one Rover, his rune is just underneath his right ear on his neck.
Fair enough, no problem. So he will bring out your rune in the moment. And he basically says quietly to you, so it's much less audible. He says, a place I see, a terrible place, a place that seems unreal even to me. An old tower. It rises from nothing, and it returns to nothing. But inside you shall find a whisper of the truth. Twice you shall walk those halls, as you must. I am sorry, but I fear that your quest leads you to a much darker place than anyone else's. And he sort of does
Not
another
right.
prayer. He does another prayer in the moment. May the Volve be with you and help. I hope they can help see you through. And he sort of passes on a blessing in the moment as this is going on.
Blythe nods, takes the blessing, just turns around. Hopefully nothing on his face to show that he's potentially had some shit news.
No, fair enough. As there's just a raven off to one side, sort of watching this sort of scenario go down, realizing in the moment, oh no, that might actually just be Caesar's.
Could be.
As that's going on.
Very confusing. But I know the difference. I can see.
You do. With that, he will then say, well, I have given you all your runes. Would anyone care to have them tattooed? So that you know for all. What is
Yes,
to come.
I would. That would be lovely. And you can kind of see Frida's like a bit shaken up. She's not herself, and she's clutching something that none of you have ever seen before off her. And it's a small knife with you can kind of see some sort of insignia on the hilt of it, and she's got a bit of her eyes are a bit misty, and she walks up to the man and asks her to tattoo it on just next to her other rune.
No problem. He will spend the time doing that for a little bit. As that's going on, for your future reference, anytime you use inspiration, you will get a +1 mechanically for having that rune.
So many inspirations.
I will get like it tattooed, but like
Same.
On the butt, or are we going somewhere?
The other cheek.
The other cheek.
you know, can I get it lower back tattooed? That might
Oh,
be
like a
like
tramp stamp.
You're going for the tramp stamp. Fair enough. Is anyone not having it? Their rune tattooed, I suppose, will be the more the question, and we can have a moment on that front.
Zisa usually tattoos herself. I don't know. I think she would. just because this being has provided answers, and perhaps his inscription would aid more than her own.
Okay, no problem. So yeah, there'll be a scene of each one having their rune tattooed, and yes, from now on, everyone will be getting a +1 to any time you have an inspiration roll. So that's good to note on that one. But I think what we'll do is we will go to the break at that point, go grab some drinks, and then we will return for the second half. Okay, and we are back then. We're here or still on the outskirts of town in nowhere. Everyone has had their runes read, and all of that side of things has been done. And yeah, you guys are free to discuss things if need be, or what's your next kind of steps, I guess? Is there any fallout from the from what you had heard there previously, or do we need to? Can we move on, I suppose?
Everyone's looking a bit solemn, probably.
Yeah, there might be a bit of that on that one, and I suppose Hrolf might obviously has been speaking with Zisa on that one. How did that play out? And is there anything there we need to play out, Zisa, or is it just that bringing him up to speed?
Yeah, she just told him what was told of her and how now she specifically has even more reason to get back to the Volve.
So you need to go to the well as well then at some point?
Yes.
Oh, I hope the answers are there that you seek. It's a strange
this being
place.
seems to think so. It would be more of an answer than I have gotten thus far.
Yeah, I agree. It's hopefully you won't have to give up as much as I had to, huh? And he sort of smiles and sort of intimates at his eye.
Whatever is necessary. And she says it with a deadpan face.
Well, we'll cover that. We'll certainly get there. I'm sure we will. First things first, I suppose we'll have to figure out a ship and get on our way. But yeah, we'll discuss this a bit further. He sort of looks around a little bit and says, "You're doing okay, Frida, as well." As he sort of sees her a bit sullen.
I'm sorry, everyone. She wipes her eyes, but finding that black dragonborn is now my priority. I'm sorry. It's a long story. I'm sure over a lot of mead I would tell it, but I don't think I can leave until I find out the information that I need.
Well,
Unless he's dead.
What would you rather do first, Black Dragonborn or lots of mead?
It depends what time it is. Is it getting late
It's
now?
afternoon, yeah. It's certainly moved on. It's been a few hours have passed as this is all going on.
I'm sure as we're going to where the mead is, I'm sure we can look around. But
we can ask around.
Yes.
It's not that big a town.
And the
Yes,
Black
we are-
Dragonborn probably sticks out quite well. Here, it seems to be mainly humans and elves.
We are here anyway. We can keep an eye out for who you seek.
Yes, thank you. I'm sorry for that.
For what?
Putting you out.
This is not putting us out. We are already here. If we weren't, then you would be. If we were trying to leave, then you would be. But as of right now, we have no means of either.
Many things we gotta figure out, that's for sure. Well, we better hop to it then, I guess. Back towards the docks, or make our way across the river. I suppose that might be another step forward.
Yes,
I think so.
towards the mead.
To the mead. And yeah, you guys start making your way back across town. So we're going to have another D20 roll. It's going to be a random one, and this time, Jamie, I think it should actually be your go at rolling. Let's see what trouble you can get us into in
The
town.
worst, hopefully. 6.
Okay.
It was neither a 1 or a 20, so it can't be that bad. All good?
Never say never.
As you're going by, there is a couple. They seem to be sharing some sort of a drinking horn of mead, and they seem to be giggling with each other a little bit, and they seem to be having some sort of eating some sort of fish pie that seems to be smelling quite sweet. They're sort of they're chatting and mumbling away to each other as you guys sort of pass by. If you don't disturb them, they will be they carry on their merry way.
Yeah, I don't like. I pass people on the street doing things, but I don't go and talk to them.
I mean,
there you go.
You could send your wolf after them if you really want to investigate and then have an excuse.
And unless Iron is going over and try and eat their pie.
Doesn't seem to be. No, you're not everything is a must.
Well, I say to the others, that pie smells lovely, doesn't it? I could probably make something like that if we caught some fish, and then I just walk on.
Fair enough. No worries.
Oh, Oda wouldn't care, but Jess just wants to complete.
I know, like
the completionist
what is their
in
story?
You.
James, can you just tell us now, because we're not ever going to speak to them again?
One day, the secrets that would have turned the whole campaign upside down would have been shared with you by the people with the fish pie.
I had a couple with fish pie.
I think the pie is made of red herring. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh my god! Well played, sir. Well played. Yes, so you guys make your way over. You will each have to pay 1 copper piece for a trip across on a fairing. So they will certainly be able to do. Yes, on that one, I assumed it would be. Making your way towards the sort of center of town. Off to one side, there appears to be what looks to be the drinking hall is certainly coming up. And on the other side, there does seem to be some sort of a parade of shops off to the other side of you. So yeah, got a couple of choices, a left or a right, shall we say, of choices here. Straight to the mead hall or to the shops?
Well, if you don't mind, I would like to go to the shops first. But if some of you want to go to the mead hall, that's fine.
Balder's been talking about the mead since we arrived. Perhaps he would like to go to the mead hall.
I would definitely like to go to the mead hall.
I'm up for the mead hall. He certainly seems like he's ready for his drink.
Oh no! Don't get me wrong. I'm up for the mead hall too. I just want to see if anyone.
Great, we'll see you there then. Harolf is already patting Balder on the back of it may be time to be able to get a bit of drink. I believe you may owe me for some of the mead that you were drinking on board ship. It might be your turn, Baldur. So in you go. And he's sort of leading him off. But is anyone else joining them straight away in the mead hall, or
Lisa follows Harolf?
No problem. What about the rest of you?
Yes.
If everyone else goes in, Oda will reluctantly go in.
No problem. Shall we just quickly deal with Frida on her side of things? If you're gonna join them a little tiny bit later on. You definitely make your way to the shops easy enough as this is going on.
Oh, if Frida's willing to have someone with her, I would go with her. I don't want to go in the mead hall.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah.
Well,
if she says no, I won't.
So let's split the party.
Where's Blythe going?
I'll be going with Frida then as well.
Okay, so three of you make your way to the shops as well. It seems like there is a bunch of different shops in the area selling different weapons, armor, foodstuffs. A few large stalls have hanging sets of fish, etc., and different things like that. The merchants don't appear to be clamoring for attention. These are not luxury shops, but simple suppliers of goods necessary for survival. You're not sure if there'll be great deals amongst this, but obviously, certainly, you can have a look in the shops. You can click on each of the icons on the screen, and if you double click them, it will open the shop. If you want to have a look, around, in theory, it should open them for you all. and you can have a
wine
look at
merchant.
some of the options that you have in there.
I
on
could
that
buy a
front.
barrel.
You can
The
buy a
wine-
barrel.
Jamie, do you want another ladder? Just get around, or
Wine
Different characters.
Flour, salt, and wheat. That is the most disappointing wine shop ever.
Ah, I know. It's a bit on the low on supplies. Would definitely be would be the best way of putting it. But yeah, it seems like these are quite poor off on some of this stuff.
I'm just reading all the shops. First.
Yeah, you can absolutely. But basically, if you click and open them, then you can be looking at those when we pop to the other scene for the others as they'll be making their way in. The only other thing I need to do is, can each of you make me a D100 die roll? Because there might be the potential that there is someone is selling something more interesting that you guys could be picking up in the moment.
Wow.
Each one, or just the people that are shopping?
Ooh.
Each the ones that are in the shops. Yeah, that have gone to the shops here on that one. Frida 98 on that front. There is a strange old lady that seems to be claiming that she is selling a very, very powerful healing remedy. It seems very good. She's after 115 gold pieces for it, but yeah, it seems that of all the things in there, it seems around in all the shops, this is like at least an interesting wear, if that makes sense. Hodor, you end up with someone is selling a proper suit of chainmail. That's kind of interesting. They're willing to part with 90 for 90 gold pieces, but they might be willing to go take a bargain on some of that if need be. And then Blythe, with your one, you find someone that is trying to sell off another healing potion, but just a standard potion of healing for 40 gold pieces, which is not bad, not a bad price.
I don't have any gold pieces.
Yes, I have nowhere near the asking price.
Neither do I, but also the guy managed to pull out the creepy druid guy who has no need nor desire for chainmail.
Yes,
so.
that's very fair. That's very fair. But yes, you do find these wares. However, I suppose the way to look at it is that if you needed to find these people again a little later on, you in theory would know that they are here in town, if that makes sense, and what they're selling. So yes, that will all happen, and then we will go over to the Eye of the Storm and the rest of the group. Bear with me as I will bring you through to the map, and I will. Obviously, some of you are hanging back and will be along a little bit later as all this is going on. But yes, the rest of you can be making your way to town. We're missing Router, aren't we? 1 second. Let's add Drew's character in because you are definitely there.
Balder's despite his short little legs, he's probably 5 to 10 feet ahead of everyone.
Yeah, he seems to have a pep in his step as this is going on, huh?
He is like a cannonball.
Fair enough. Yeah, so you guys make your way over to the Eye of the Storm Tavern as this is all going on. It seems like quite a bustly place. You can hear music is starting to play out from the inside of the tavern as you guys are actually starting to get closer and make your way over there. And you can make your way inside the building, and you see the crowds are in there drinking away, and people are sort of listening to a bit of music that seems to be being played off in one of the main areas of the mead hall. But yeah, it's a fairly sizable place. Warm home and hearth would be the best way of putting it as you're sort of making your way in.
The smell of mead, yes.
And there's a woman over on this side, and she will sort of see people making their way in, and she sort of says, welcome, come, mead for any of you, come.
Well, first round's on me.
Do you have your own horns for drinking purposes? Harolf is already getting his one out of his pack as this is going on. I'm going to say there was 3 horns worth of 3 horns in total that were found. So, yes, I would say Baldur, because the things that you would have saved, well, that would certainly be something that you would have had. Whether you shared any of them with the rest of them, as in would be willing to hand them out, but. She sort of.
Well, Zisa was watching him grab everything.
You
so I think
absolutely
she
were.
would know that he has
that he
that he
3
found
on
3,
him, yeah.
and would most likely be like, you should let Hrolf know that.
Yeah, I mean, I will use these horns to get our refills, if that makes sense.
No problem. So yeah, this group of you, you can certainly start doing that. Yeah, it looks like you can, for 5 silver pieces, you can have some decent honey mead drink on that front for that one. So yeah, it's obviously, yeah, your round will add up a little bit, but as this goes on. But
yeah, how do I buy this again?
that is a good point. As this is going on, once
This is at the right, isn't it?
Ah, yeah, purchase. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. I will buy. How many are we for?
Yeah, there's 4 of you totally currently. Yeah, you can definitely be buying the drinks. And then, yes, there we go. That's come through. I can accept. And
what's this Mother's Brew thing?
that is a more, she says, Mother's Brew. That's very good mead. Very good mead. I can't sell that for less than 6 gold pieces ago, but it is strong stuff. You won't regret
Is there a way you can sell it to me in like a closed container so I can save it for later?
Might be able to find something if you're willing. Say if you throw in another gold piece on top, I'm happy to do that. I can figure something.
A gold for like.
Well, oxhorns aren't cheap. They add up.
I will buy it.
Fair enough. So yeah, he buys some of the some of the good stuff. Harolf is kind of very impressed at the moment as he sees that, and you guys will be able to start drinking in the space and see how things are going.
And I will share them around, so 1 to Rauder, 1 to Rolf, and 1 to Zisa.
And Harolf says, I'm going to be going off and doing a bit of mingling here. I want to see if I can find out any information on the War clan and see who, if they know anything about what went on if any ships have gone by. But I suggest maybe some of the others of you start asking about some questions. Maybe that'll help. I'll be back. And yeah, he starts to wander off to a couple of the tables and starts looking around and starting to chatting to other people as this goes on. Yeah, it seems like there are, it's fairly crowded in here. The tables are scattered around the floor here. There is a wooden ladder that sort of leads at the back, that sort of leads to an upstairs floor where there seems to be like possibly bedding rooms and things like that upstairs as this goes on. Other areas, there are the clatter of dice, the shouts of glee, and the barks of anger as people are all up to different things in this place. The stout woman that's sort of handing out the drinks is sort of barking orders at some who looks like some tired little staff as that's sort of going on.
Zisa would probably wait until the barmaid gets a free minute, not when she's busy, but basically when she has a chance to breathe, to inquire from her.
Fair enough. And she says, "Oh, my dear, you're very tall."
Yes, it was my on my mother's side actually, but I was just wondering, we're new to town. We had a bit of a trouble with our boat, and I was hoping that maybe you could direct us toward one of the kind captains that could maybe take us on as crew to maybe their next location.
Oh, well, well, a lot of Scooty's crew are still in here. I'm sure they're still around drinking. And yeah, she's sort of pointing over to two of the tables on this side and this side of the actual ship. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, those two over there, I think they might be part of Had's crew.
So Scooty and Had are the two captains that you think would be best for us to talk to.
The Scooty and Had are certainly two of the bigger captains around here. I mean, Lurks is also one. But yeah, I mean, most of their crew is not in. The Vipers don't seem to take too much of the mead from us. I think they did too well on their last trip. I think they haven't needed to buy for me, much to my thing. They used to pay pretty well. But
well,
yes.
that's their loss then, because you serve a mighty fine mead, if I do say so myself.
Oh no, thank you.
Of course. So, of those captains that you mentioned, who do you think would be the most fair, the most true to talk to?
Scooty is probably the prouder of the two. He is irritable though, so he's not always the easiest to get along with. But he's a good man. Had is, he's just different, harder work sometimes. He's from Clan Nattle. They're not always the best with some of the other clans, you know. They have their moments.
I've heard such as in the past as well.
Although he's supposed to be a courageous guy, I just don't know him as well.
Well, if you were to try to book passage to somewhere from nowhere, who would you go to, do you think?
Honestly, probably would go with either Scooty or Lurks, is the honest truth. I think they're better bets. Scooty, probably. Yeah. Knowing the man, I would say that.
Thank you very much for your kindness. I truly appreciate it. And Zisa will slide 3 copper towards her for the kindness.
Thank you.
And she has been very, she kind of came in a little bit on herself to seem as if she was a smaller, shyer, more timid, very personable, very expressive, of wide eyes, taking everything in she's saying, nodding vigorously, being a very attentive listener. Very not like Zisa.
Fair enough. I think it's probably at this sort of time that the rest of you start to, as a little bit of time passes here, I think the rest of you can be making your way to the hall, if that makes sense.
Yes, I would have asked all the shop owners if they knew where the Black Dragonborn was.
Yeah. Make a persuasion check. Let's see how well she did on figuring some of that out.
How about intimidation?
You can do if you wish. If you would have done that to a shopkeeper, I'm not sure.
Could you not have advantage? Because we were literally, that's what we went to do, wasn't it? So we all helped him.
Sure.
If you can do a bit of that if you wish.
Nope.
Whoa.
Told you.
Yeah.
If it was intimidation, it would have worked.
Well,
but that's fine. Yeah.
But it doesn't mean it's your only chance. But yeah, no, with the shops, etc., not so much actually went down with any of that. And yeah, you guys eventually do make your way back to the shops as all this is sort of going on. Blythe, you see Erwin is sort of still Elwin, is looking after the little one, if that makes sense, as the rest seem to be in the mead hall in the moments as you sort of make your way back. But yes, you guys make your way in. If anyone is sort of generally mingling, I am happy for you to just make me a general charisma check, please, in amongst this.
I am listening. Can I do anything for that?
I would mingle after I get him some meat.
Oh my god, what is
The
going
highest
on?
of friendship levels.
Oh my god.
Okay. So
Oh my god.
what is going on?
Why are all of you being so friendly? What's happening?
Okay.
It's the
Frida
meat.
is
It's the
Frida is
meat.
very friendly.
Okay, so yeah, I will basically for two nat 20s and a 21. I'm going to give you pretty much all the rumors that are that are going on. So I'm going to let
all the
Rowder, you can roll twice on a D8 table, and then Baldor can do the same, and we'll just make sure the numbers differ, and then Frida will be able to roll once.
Oh, I got 2 5s.
2 5s. Well, yeah, you'll have to re-roll the 5 on that front. So the 3
Another
will
3.
Yeah, another 3 will have to be re-rolled as well. 6. Okay, and then 7 has been taken. Okay, so I think we're there. Right, so starting at the top then. Rowder, so yeah, the first one you get is that there's a rumor now in amongst the patrons. The great mountains of Turinfall are a mystery, but often rainbow-coloured lights can be seen originating from there. Is a story that gets told as time is going on. Baldor with a 7. A man had paid a lot of gold up front to have the local shipbuilders build a ship, but that guy has gone missing, which is interesting. You find out that might be why that ship is now coming up, may well come up for auction in a few days. So that's certainly the next one on the list. Then Baldor with a 3. Go ahead.
Okay. So the ship has already been paid for.
Did we get a name?
No, the guy didn't know on this rumor. The guy didn't know who the man was that was on that one. But there is a rumor that it had been he paid up front with a lot of gold to have it built. But yeah, no one knows what has happened to this guy, which is
What I had there was free boat.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Number 3, the Jarl, Berlwyn, her mother mysteriously appeared right in the middle of town many years ago. There was a burst of rainbow light in the sky that lasted for hours, and when it ended, she was just there standing by the dock. So she appeared in town out of nowhere. So her mother many years ago, if that makes sense.
And whose mother was this?
That's the Jarl of this place, Belwyn.
Okay.
So her mother was just she was an outsider, someone from another world, and that kind of plagues you to a story of you heard that of a small little girl talking about something very similar to that on their arrival. So that's definitely one that you do pick up. Rowder with a 6. You hear about Lurks and his ship of the Vipers. Apparently he's in love with a woman from an outpost, and apparently that woman has been, they believe that outpost has been recently captured, which seemed like an interesting anecdote. And then
Captured
we have
by who?
They don't know, but Lux has been really quiet about what went on, apparently. But he apparently the rumors are that his crew are saying that basically the love of his life has been it may well have been taken.
Oh.
And then Frida, your one would be a 7 on this one. No, sorry, the 7 has already been.
4 and 8.
Sorry, so a 4 and an 8 on that one. There are a few tales of a newly restored clan. Obviously, they believe that they are called the War clan, and they seem to be something. They worship some strange shaggy beast, and they've even been claiming that they ride some of these beasts. As you've kind of already heard some of these things, but on that one. But apparently, these creatures are called wolves, and some of these passed through town not too long ago.
But they've been here.
They certainly have. There's certainly been a bit of that on that one. Frida, sorry, did you get a? You did not get a nat 20. Okay, so I won't go for the next section. No problem. But yeah, they're the main rumors that you guys hear as this is going on inside the actual in the actual place. Is there anything else that you guys would be up to as this is all going on?
Asking if they've seen a black dragonborn.
Okay, fair
With
enough.
my mingling skills, apparently.
No problem. Yep. So in that case, you can make a persuasion check and see how you do. Asking around.
Damn.
Oh, damn. Okay, fair enough on that one. You do with a 12. When you do ask around, one of them said, "Yeah, I thought I did see something on the other side of town the other day. Yeah, I don't know if he was down by the docks, not as a dock worker or something, but no, it must have been in the place behind there. There's the warehouses. Maybe you're asking around there for looking for your friend."
Thank you so much. That is actually very helpful information.
You're welcome. As all that is, as this is all going on, no problem. What is Frida up to?
I would pull Blythe aside and tell him about the War clan worshipping some weird beast, and that they passed through here a few nights ago, and if he knows if that was maybe a mission his clan was on to come here.
We're only a small clan, you see, so people think that maybe the wolves are the beasts. We don't worship them, obviously.
He said that they worshipped a great big beast, but they also had your companions with you. So maybe it's a different beast. Didn't the War clan say?
That's not what they said, but I couldn't hear.
It was.
They worship a great beast, and there was tail that they could ride on them. That's the wolves. They're called wolves. You bloody listen with your ears.
I'm drunk, okay?
Fair
I've
enough.
had 8 meads in the 2 seconds we've been here.
They were here. You heard they were here not so long back, and they went by the town.
Yes, and I'm not sure.
Would that perhaps be the ones that came to us, though?
I think I forgot his name. The main guy,
Harolf. Yeah, no problem.
Harolf did ask about this, but I thought I'd run it past you because I know it is your clan, and we've already had a lot of issues with them, and I don't want to make you feel bad in yourself, just in case that they prove even further issue to us.
There's not much we can do about the clan. They seem lost at the minute. We need to focus on our missions at hand, I think, and then I could deal with them later.
I'm entrusting you with this information. Again, it is your clan, so if you would like to tell Harolf, you feel free, but it's not my business. I've already killed enough of your men, and I could see it wasn't good on you.
I don't think it's really necessary to burden Harolf with more information, more things that could happen.
And so it be. Skull.
Fair enough. So yeah, a bit of drinking will occur for a while, and the evening will pass a little further on as time sort of moves through, and a little bit of time will happen as you guys will be. Yes, go ahead.
Sorry, is this the same Dragonborn we travelled with?
You're not sure. He looks very similar.
He looks very similar.
He does indeed. Does anyone approach him at any point and to find out?
Yes.
Fair enough. And he sort of looks up and looks at you. Greetings. What can I do for you?
Hello? What was the Dragonborn's name?
Goki.
You?
Stokie.
Yeah, I think it was Stokey, wasn't it, or something along those lines.
Goki, yeah, because he was from where.
It's from Luton.
Yeah.
It's
he's
from Luton, yeah.
He's a Luton lad.
What can I do for you, Miss?
Scooty from Luton?
No, sorry. I suppose it's hard to tell us apart.
Well, I didn't want to insinuate that, but can I make an inside check?
You can definitely make an insight check as this is going on.
Where is? Oh.
An 18. Yeah, you get the sense that this person is being completely truthful. They are, now looking closer, a different Dragonborn, and you've unfortunately fallen into the trap of green Dragonborn looking very similar as a thing. I may have done that on purpose.
Well, that's embarrassing. I'm going to blame the mead, and then she's going to walk off.
Fair enough. Okay, so yes, so a bit of time passes, and this is all sort of happening here for a moment.
Can Balder, like after a while, like step up to Zisa?
Absolutely, yeah. Zisa, I'm obviously whatever she's up to. Is she quiet in the corner at the moment, or what would Zisa be doing?
I think she's done enough sharking of the room and mingling that she's now just waiting for Herolf to be done doing whatever he's doing.
Mm-hmm. As Baldur makes his way up.
I can't help but notice that you are quite different here when compared to on the ship. Or
Herolf said to mingle. I was mingling. When I don't have to mingle, I don't.
Okay. You're a very difficult person for me to read.
That is not surprising.
Oh, Zisa, never change.
Hodo, does your brother have a thing for Zisa? He seems to be awfully weird around here.
Absolutely.
I try to avoid thinking about anything that my brother could possibly be thinking, so I have no idea.
Anyhow, maybe I'll find you sitting over me when I sleep at night again sometime.
Possibly, but most likely not.
Well, just so you know,
popped into his water, overhearing that. It was like a proper moment.
we are like 20 feet apart. You do not hear this.
Oh, this is a possibility of you crashing and burning. Of course, Hoda's listening in. You're trying to make a move.
Well, if just in case, I don't mind if you need to do it. I'd understand.
So you say.
Has the awkwardness, yeah.
Okay, this has just become too awkward. Have a nice time. And
it was so awkward that Blythe just left because he couldn't stand the tension anymore.
Oh, good. We need someone to look after the child. We did just leave her outside.
Irwin's with it. It's fine.
Fair
and
enough.
with red cheeks and sweat on his brow, he will like join these guys, see what they are up to. I don't know what they are doing, but whatever.
They seem to be. They certainly seem to be drowning their sorrows at the moment as this is all going on. And come, sit down, friend. We're drowning our sorrows this evening. You look like the face of a man that needs another drink.
I mean, are you buying?
We were kind of hoping you might be willing. We've been a bit down on our luck ourselves.
What's happened? Actually, you know what? I am feeling generous, and I need another drink. I'll buy drinks.
No problem.
What? How many are they?
There's two of them at the table as this is all.
Okay, two of them.
As this is going on.
So that's another 3 mead.
No problem.
Yes, I'm spending all my money on mead because I do not need it for anything else.
Fair enough. You buy a round of drinks, and they say, we've had a bad run lately with our captain. We're just drowning our sorrows. The last few raids we've been on lately have let's just say they've gone poorly. It's the captain's a good man, but alas, we've not had the best of luck lately. You're a raider yourself. You look like someone that can handle some action if needed.
It is funny you say so. I am a great raider. I am a great hero. I've been on countless raids, gathered many riches. As you see, I have the money to buy meat for all of you. So that is. But yes.
Maybe things are looking up. They're looking around at each other.
So who's your captain exactly?
Scooty. He's a good man, but he's getting a bit older in his years now. He's a bit slow. His age is getting to him a little bit. He doesn't wield his great axe as well as he did, but he's a good man. When the raids have been going good, we do well.
So if a chance came along to join another raiding party, would you consider it?
Well, yeah, if the money's good, yeah. I mean, we've not exactly done well on recently, so yeah.
Well, of course I would
okay.
not. Of course, I would not want to get Scooty out of his job. Of course.
No.
Yeah.
But if we, crew move on, so to say, and if you're thinking of having a few extra men you need, you already got a ship, or what's your deal?
No, but we are actually looking to procure one. Or, well, I hope we will procure one. That's more of a thing. But yeah, we are raiders ourselves, and we are looking for either to join or charter another ship, to buy one ourselves.
Really?
Depending on the opportunity.
Well, I mean, the captain would be interested if you in taking passengers. If you wanted to take wanted to buy you away on a ship, we're a good bunch. The ship's a sturdy ship. It's worth putting out. We could maybe set up a meeting with the captain if that was of something of interest.
Well, I think that would be. Of course, I will have to discuss it with Rolf, as he's the current raid captain. I'm like sort of his second in command, you could say.
And he sort of goes a bit quiet on that one. He's like, I know that name. And he sort of looks around at that one. The man's a legend.
Oh, he certainly is. I keep mentioning it, but I feel like it's not getting through to people. We are great raiders and heroes.
Oh, you certainly got some interesting company there. Oh, I mean, I'd be happy to put things forward, but yeah, we'll enjoy the evening with you, that's for sure. And he's sort of as long as you're buying drinks, Baldor, they're happily carry on chatting with you for part of the evening as this is going on.
Skull.
No
And
problem.
I will raise the horn
And carry on drinking with them. Yeah, they're happy doing that. As this is going on, the rest of you are drinking amongst things. A man comes up onto the stage as this is going on. A strangely dressed figure in green, kind of acting slightly comedic, kind of jester-esque would be the rest of the. He sort of emerges from some curtains on the stage at the far end of the hall. He starts to make little hand gestures and cast shadows on a wide on the sort of the walls, and sort of there must be some magic involved because it's literally making some of the shadows change shape. And he is making pictures of varieties of creatures against the wall. Some are actually quite convincingly done. There are images of giants and serpents and great herds of horses, as well as warriors clashing in battle. And it's sort of the audience seems to be laughing loudly as this man is sort of feigning being frightened of his own creations, and until he collapses and rolls back into the curtains. And then leaves his head behind as an image for a moment, and then it disappears away. It seems to be, he's telling the story of what to some of you would be obvious, of the story of Murgle and his folly that created the world as this goes on. But it seems to go down well with the patrons as this is going on, and it's probably during this sort of period that. Caesar Harolf would eventually be sort of making his way over to you, and sort of quietly sits down to talk for a few moments on this one. You have a few moments, Caesar.
Yes, I believe I've learned all I could. The others are still speaking to people.
Yeah, it's kind of as I feared. Seems like some of the War clan are definitely involved. There's some sort of as far as this Gull character has been through town. They're definitely the ones that attacked us. I'm pretty sure of that now.
Have you spoke to Blythe about this?
No, I haven't approached him yet. What do you make of the man?
Blythe?
Hmm.
He seems delicate. His clansmen are traitors, but he doesn't want to take their lives. He still wants to give them honorable burials, even though they don't deserve it. Seems soft for a raider.
He's different. You know I vouch for everyone on my crew. He's the only one that I can't vouch for. See, the Volve sent messages to me. I had to take him on board.
I trust you. If you trust the Volve in this, then I would trust Blythe.
I do.
But if you think it's wise, we can always keep an eye on him.
No, I can trust the man. And the circumstances are strange. But what I don't know is how deep his clan links go. What I'm worried about is I think we're going to be on a crash course with at least some of his clan. And we'll have to make some hard choices on that at some point coming up. But that'll be for later.
Decide if he is with us or with them when the time comes.
Yeah. Just be aware that it's something that'll come to pass at some point we'll have to deal with. But in the meantime, it might be worth eventually sounding him out to see how strong his clan links are.
He did recognize the caster on the ship by name.
Yeah. It's certainly something. But that doesn't necessarily mean his allegiances lie in that way. We just need to know more. I just don't know enough about the man.
We could ask him.
Yeah, we need to
I
work
could
on
help
that.
if you want.
Definitely. We need to work on it. And he starts thinking more, pondering a little bit as this is all going on, and drinking a little more, and figuring it out as that is sort of happening there. And I think we have one more chance for a D20 roll for the for the evening before we will call it for tonight, and we will come back next time. But is anyone willing to give the random events table one more hit for the evening today?
I'll go for it.
Yeah, go for it, Baldo. Let's see how
I
that's
could see
going
Seb moving on Cam. I knew he wanted to, but he wanted to check with everyone first.
on. Fair enough on that one. No problem. So this is very good timing. So as this is going on, Baldur, one of the raiders on one of the tables on the other side gets up and starts having a bit of a shouting match with one of the guys that's on your table, and they start arguing about things, and so they both have had a fair bit to drink as this is all sort of going on, and the other one on the other table is like, if it actually had come down to a fight between Lurks and Scooty, Lurks would have handed your captain his arse 100%. They would have definitely been down for a count on that front. And he's the sort of semi friend on your table sort of gets up and sort of says, "That's funny, because I heard that back in the day when they did have a fight, it was our captain that actually won that fight." And he's like, "You dare!" And they sort of square off to each other. As this is all going on, does Balor get involved in any way as this is going on, or do you let them play out?
Right.
So it's not actually coming to a fight at the moment.
They are drunk, and it looks like it's about to turn into a brawl. Yes, they're going to be fighting for the honor of their captains in moments. Is probably what's going to happen. Does Baldur let it play out, or does he have any event?
I'll stand up and like hold this guy back. There is no reason to have this fight. If you want to know who of your captains is actually the strongest, let them fight. Let them figure it out. There's no need for you to do it amongst yourselves. What will that prove?
You're taking interest from your small friend there. You're taking notice as you're holding him back on that front, and he sort of squares. This guy sort of squares up to you in the moments on that one, Baldur, and sort of looks at you.
At that point, like his eyes sort of like go wide. You're calling me small?
he's opening his. I was going to call you tiny.
I hit him in the face.
Okay, so in the moments, then, we're going to have you two squaring up, and we will see how that plays out. Okay, time for a bar fight. 1 second, so. Change the routine here on that one. Right, okay, so we're going to add you in, and we're going to change from the tavern music to something a little bit more up.
If it was anything else but saying, "Oh, you're small," because I've said since the beginning he has a little bit of a Napoleon complex, and he's very sensitive about that. If it was anything else, I would have.
It would have gone off in the moment. Okay, so as that goes, so yeah, you will obviously get the first punch in before the before the round will begin. And then obviously,
how much has Boulder drank? That is the question.
How much do you think? How far in is he? Would be the first question.
like at least one like horn and like about half in his second.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely fine. As this is going on, so yeah, you will get the surprise of the first attack, if that makes sense, because of you're hitting him first, so you can go for it. Okay, yeah, you will definitely hit for 12. Oh my God, you really knock him.
And because I have this, he gets knocked 5 feet back.
Oh my God! As this is all going on, yeah, this guy sort of he takes the hit, and he's obviously clearly not happy in the moment, but you just see the blood anger in his face as he can't see past it in the moments as this is going on, Baldur, and he will go and he sort of dives at you on that front, bringing out his weapon in the moments, and he will try and hit you with the bludgeoning side of his axe as this goes on. And he will try and hit you for 20, but only getting three damage through in the moment.
Sure.
And he's looked stunned that with a weapon, and it's like, oh shit, hang on. But it actually does bring it to your turn as this is going on.
Yeah, so first unarmed attack again. 14 to hit?
14 will miss, I believe. 1 second. No, sorry, 14 will hit. Sorry, no, that's absolutely fine. Yes, for some reason we're targeting. So yeah, you're for 5. Okay, yeah, he will take that.
And then second attack because of martial arts.
Damn, yeah, that's fair enough.
For another 8.
Fair enough. And it's for those watching around, you just see him crack. Was he going lethal or was he not in the moments? Is the question.
No.
I'm assuming
I'm not killing a man in the middle of this bar.
No, fair enough. But what you guys see then is you see Baldur, take a good crack at this guy, knock him back. The guy comes running in with a weapon, hits him, and then there's sort of a pap, and it's almost over before you can even realize it, and the guy is down.
I'd like to think I sent him flying again into one of these tables.
No.
And he just
gets smashed against one as this is going out, and he's out like the light. And then in the moments there's a roar of the sort of the crowd around as this is going on, as this dragonboard is getting up to try and take a look at this at this downed one, and this guy is looking around at you, sort of impressed in the moments as this is going on. As
calling me small.
As the combat will be ending in the moments, and fair enough. Yeah, apart from Blythe outside is not seeing this, but yeah, I think with these sort of things and the events of the evening, I think to be honest, I think this will be where we will pick up next time in the mead hall. And we will, we'll figure out the next steps. But yes, Baldur has definitely made an impression here at the end of the episode. But yes, well done, everyone. Well, yes, we shall leave it there, and we will be back next time. So here we go.